traveler. So obviously I'm not in Ireland right now, but last year I traveled to Ireland and I planned on making a travel video there, do more of like a vlog, travel vlog kind of thing, give you some tips and inspiration as well. But that video never happened because I had a crazy itinerary and it also just didn't turn out to be the trip that I kind of had in my head, and it just wasn't really good enough to share with all of you. But because we're all sitting at home right now, I was just going through all of my old footage and I thought it would still really kind of be nice to share what maybe I did wrong so you don't have to make the same mistakes in the future. I still have some tips on what you can see and do, and I also think it's just really nice to look at the beautiful countryside and the city of Dublin to help you kind of escape our current situation. So that's why I still decided to make this video. Today will be the East Coast. So I actually traveled from the East Coast to the West Coast in just 2 days, which was absolutely crazy, and that's why I decided to just do like the East Coast this week, and then next week I'll be discussing what you can do in a couple of days when you visit the West Coast of Ireland. So today I'm getting into Dublin and just spending a day outside of the city. So maybe if you visit Dublin for 2 or 3 days and you also want to see some of the countryside. So I'm first going to just show you some of the footage that I got, and then I'll tell you what you can see and maybe do while you're there. So if you go to Ireland, there is a pretty big chance that you'll be flying in on Dublin, which is the capital of Ireland, and it is such a lovely city. It's not a huge city, but it definitely has a huge personality for a city. It is so, I don't know if cute's the right word, but it's definitely like a very like cozy feeling city. This time I didn't really get to visiting most of the highlights, like the tourist highlights, but luckily I've been able to do that before. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that to show you right now, but I thought I would just go through a couple of things that I visited and that I absolutely loved. So the first one, which is definitely my favorite part in the city, is Trinity College, and then more specifically Trinity College Library. It's kind of like this Harry Potter Hogwarts kind of feeling library, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, this time it was already closed when I visited the college like grounds. But if you do go there, like don't skip it. It's in the middle of the city center, so it is very easy to just walk to and then visit the library. There's no shortage of beautiful buildings in the city, like for example a lot of cathedrals and churches, and one of them is St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is a beautiful cathedral on its own, but there is actually also a really cute library right next to it that me and my friend, the first time I visited, just stumbled upon by accident, and it's called Marsh Library, if I pronounce that right. So it is a really tiny library just right next to St. Patrick's Cathedral, and it's just so cute. So if you do visit the cathedral, don't miss out on that library. Another beautiful old building is Dublin's Castle. I didn't go inside this time, but I did the previous time I was there, and it's just really nice to visit inside of the castle as well. I will see if I have any photos left from that trip, but it's, you know, kind of your typical castle, but it's just really fun. They also have some sort of like smaller gardens behind that you've also just seen like a little part of in a previous sequence. Most things in the city are within walking distance, and one of those things is the Guinness factory. So I didn't go there the first time I was there, but I did go there this time, and it is like a really fun kind of museum, if you can call it that. It's quite interactive, and they have like all kinds of like cool flashy light stuff in there. It's a couple of stories high, and actually on top of the Guinness factory you have a beautiful overview of the city that you could also see in the beginning of the Dublin sequence I just showed you, and you get a free Guinness with your ticket, so you can just like enjoy your Guinness at the bar there and look over the beautiful city. The city itself is also just really great to explore by foot. You can go shopping in the city center, you can visit the Temple Bar area, and I've never actually been inside the Temple Bar because it's usually quite busy, but there are a lot of cute little pubs around as well, and in the evenings you have a lot of live music, which is really nice, so don't skip out on the nightlife. We made so many friends when we went out there, so that is also a great part of Dublin. Okay, so that was all that you can see and do in the city, but then I also remembered like the first time I was visiting Dublin, I really wanted to see some of the countryside because I love the UK countryside, and I thought, or well, I knew that Ireland was absolutely beautiful as well, but I didn't really know like how to get outside of the city. Most of the time they will offer day tours if you stay in a hostel or a hotel. They are likely also going to the west coast, but then you'll be spending a lot of time in the bus. So we didn't really want that, which is why my friend and I hired a car for a few days, and we took a car and drove like half an hour outside of the city to Bray and the Powerscourt Estate, and that's what I'll be showing you right now and tell you more about it after. Our car broke down. So that happened. Our car broke down, like our tire was just completely slashed, just like ruined by a huge rock when we had to like avoid a car that was coming right at us. And that was not great for our time management that day. But before that actually happened, we had luckily already seen the beautiful town of Bray, which is where we started our day, and that was only a 30-minute drive from Dublin, and I looked it up. It's like between 30 and 45 minutes with public transport. I'm not really sure like how public transport is in Ireland. I think it's fine. I saw a train station there, and in Bray there are a lot of walking paths. There was an aquarium, and most things were still closed because we were there quite early, but it's right by the sea and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I think you can spend your entire day there if you just want to. But we also visited the Powerscourt Estate, and it's a pretty big estate with a couple of different gardens, and I remember it being like one of the, I don't know, top 10 most beautiful gardens according to National Geographic. So you know, that's quite something, and it actually was really, really nice to explore. And they have like a lot of land around it as well. The waterfall was also part of the estate, and it's about a 6-kilometer walk between the estate and the waterfall, but you can also take a car from one point to the other, which is what we did because we were short on time. But I think that if you just like go for the walk, you will also see a lot more of the countryside there as well. So this is a great way to spend just one day outside of the city. It's still relatively close to Dublin, so you don't spend all of your day in a car or in a bus or something like that. So that's it for my East Coast video, my East Coast travel guide sort of. I hope it was helpful to you. If you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you really like watching these kind of videos. Oh, there's actually one more thing that I wanted to show you. So this is going to be my new home office and I'm working really hard to finish it. I really hope that I could actually film this video here already, but of course it's taking more time than I thought or hoped it would. But I'm really excited to show it to you guys. So I'll be posting a video about that on IGTV on my Instagram. So go follow me there if you want to see my home office makeover. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope to see you again on the West Coast video and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye guys!